Okay, we'll talk about that later in our See the Story segment. And now here are one of the biggest news from the UK. If you remember, 2 months ago, Prime Minister Boris Johnson was asked to leave the office, and today he actually made the farewell speech. So Minister Boris Johnson left his Downing Street office for the last time on Tuesday as he heads to Scotland to formally offer his resignation to Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes, and Johnson, who announced his intention to step down 2 months ago, was expected to meet with the Queen in the late morning at her Balmoral estate to begin the transfer of power to Liz Truss.
And I will be supporting Liz Truss and the new government every step of the way. Thank you all very much. Thank you and goodbye. Thank you.
This is the moment when former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson departs Downing Street after farewell speech. Johnson, who announced his intention to step down 2 months ago, is expected to meet the Queen in late morning at her Balmoral estate to begin the transfer of power to Liz Truss. Speaking outside Downing Street, Johnson said his policies has given the country the economic strength and to help people weather the energy crisis before he signed off his typical bluster.
We'll organise those prompt early supplies of weapons to the heroic Ukrainian armed forces, an action that may very well have helped change the course of the biggest European war for 80 years. And because of the speed and urgency of what you did, everybody involved in this government, to get this economy moving again from July last year, in spite of all the opposition.
This is the first time the handover of power is taking place at Balmoral, the monarch's summer retreat in Aberdeenshire, rather than at Buckingham Palace in London. The ceremony was moved to Scotland to provide certainty about the schedule because the 96-year-old Queen has experienced problems getting around that have forced palace officials to make decisions about her travel on a day-to-day basis.
As we have seen from the news, it is quite momentous for the people of London because this is the first time the handover of power is taking place at Balmoral, the monarch's summer retreat in Aberdeenshire, instead of Buckingham Palace. So it's going to be memorable.
Yeah, there are some points actually that Boris Johnson made. One of them is that he was saying, he was mentioning about the words, they changed the rules. Yeah. Somehow people are trying to translate what it meant. It's like maybe he felt like he is a victim, so that he had to resign and all that. And also he was mentioning about his achievements, of course, that the unemployment rate in the country was a little bit better during his leading as the Prime Minister. So it's sort of like a mixed feelings, I would say. And he sort of hoped as well that he would be remembered like one of the British Cincinnatus, the Roman statements, because he was there. After resigning, he was being called out again during his retirement. And I think there's a hope from Boris Johnson that he would probably ask doing the same thing.
Exactly. According to theguardian.com, it is the same with what you have just said. It is said 2 hours ago that Johnson's used farewell speech from number 10, Downing Street number 10, to signal he still hopes for comeback. As you mentioned the pattern when the previous one, when he replaced the position of the
Roman statement,
right,
Cincinnatus.
For that situation. And of course, from the farewell speech as well, Boris Johnson said that he will support Liz Truss every step of the way. And Johnson also said that he will offer a new government for the most fervent support. And the latest one, 16 minutes ago, according to Guardian, right now, Liz Truss expected to announce massive intervention to freeze energy bills on Thursday.